Get right back into it with MJ West and Sarah Schultz from the ground up. Take it away, you two.
All right. Well, I just wanted to take a moment because I'm going to let MJ do all the work. But I am Sarah Schultz. I'm the director of the planetarium at Minnesota State University Moorhead. And I have brought several of my students with me, and MJ is one of my prime students who has done a lot of great things with the planetarium. And she decided to take on developing a summer camp. And so I'm going to let her talk about it and just be here for moral support. Take it away.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Sarah. Before we begin, I'd like to go, good morning, campers. How are we feeling today? Woo, wonderful. So, my name is MJ, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. That kind of feels weird to say in my fancy clothes and not in a camp t-shirt. But I had the wonderful opportunity. It wasn't just me that created this summer camp experience. It was a bunch of us. So our current team that we have working on the summer camps are Hannah Crumby. I'm going to have you stand up. Hello, Hannah. And then also another student who, because we're all undergrads, unfortunately couldn't be here due to classes today. That's Jacob Mayat. You can see our lovely faces over there. We had a lot of fun, so hopefully you can tell that by our pictures. Now, we've been running this summer camp for 2 years. We started in 2024, and that's kind of where this all began. And actually, another previous student who was also integral in helping with that is Emily Watson. So Emily Watson, stand up. Yes, so Emily was really helpful, especially since we were able to gather resources from NASA, had sent us some summer camp modules, which I will be talking about in a little bit. But we also partnered with our college's College for Kids program, which is a youth outreach program that MSUM sponsors, or Minnesota State University sponsors, to do summer courses for kids and teens throughout the summer. And with our summer camp, we decided that we wanted to kind of target ages 9 to 13. And we really wanted to focus on the idea of team building, challenging the imagination, creativity, and curiosity. And luckily for us, in 2024, we also were able to partner with Bismarck's Gateway to Science, which was really nice because it took a lot of pressure off of us to run that last day of activities for us. So, a little bit about the modules. So NASA sent us 2 summer camp experiences, the Artemis Camp and the First Women Camp experience, to work off of. Now, we had kind of a challenging time working with these modules because some of the activities weren't exactly what we wanted when we were working with them. We did modify them a decent amount to kind of fit our needs and our purposes while we worked with it, but it was a wonderful jumping off point as we developed our camp. So basically with this, it gave us a framework of let's start how we got to the moon, and then how are we going to get to Mars. So that is the structure that we kind of tried to build in, at least for 2024 Space Camp experience. So some of the activities that we landed on, I have a couple worksheets that we did. So one of them that we conserved was our moon medallion, where we basically give the kids a little paper board with tinfoil covered over it, and then they can etch their own little design in. We make them plan the designs. We split the kids. We had about 20 students altogether. We split them into teams of 4 or 5. At least that first year, we had a couple teams of 5. But we make them pick a team name, and then we make them do a moon medallion. And this is based off of those space medallions that they do for each space mission that we do or that NASA does. So then we kind of focus about like the surface of the moon. So we talk about impact craters. And then we also talk about moon jump, which is a 2-part activity where we start about talking about thinking about what is happening on the moon. Like, can we jump higher? What do you guys think? Starting with that question, and then letting them do the math to get to the answer for the moon jump. And then we did stomp rockets. Kids love stomp rockets. But with the stomp rockets, we gave them the parameters of they had to pick a fin shape. The team all had to decide on the fin shape that they were going to use for their rockets. And then they could pick as many fins as they want, as long as it was within their budget. So one of the things that we tried to also instill was that science is not an infinite amount of money. So we have to instill a budget. You can kind of see I have a little bit of pile of stuff that was prepped. That looks like a few bits of stuff. It was more of like the moon medallions and stomp rocket bodies. We used pool noodles, covered the base, and then we have a solar system rope that like the solar system tape. We would draw that outside, and then we would use the little launch pads and launch them out. And then our big activity that we would do is designing a space capsule and then actually dropping that space capsule. So we gave them specific parameters of it had to fit within a large coffee can. It could not be taller than the coffee can. It had to be also able to fit sideways in the coffee can. They were only able to use their material budget of only a couple materials. They could only pick like 5 of a certain item, or they could only do things like that because, science is limited, or space materials are limited. But we did allow them to recycle because we liked that aspect of it. But our big takeaway with the space capsule was that it had to protect an egg. So we had 2 big drops with this activity. We had a drop from the height of a pool noodle, and then we had our big drop, which was one of our science buildings, has a little balcony in the atrium. So I have a picture about that as well. But if the students ended up breaking their eggs before they could get to, it had to survive 3 drops. If their egg didn't survive, Jake drew very worried faces on the eggs if they had to do a round 2. So we did a combination of activities outside of the planetarium, and then we also wanted to incorporate in the planetarium. So we used our 2 softwares, Stellarium and OpenSpace. So we started on the sky, tried to get a good measure of how we can locate things on Earth. So using the constellations when we're out in space. And then using OpenSpace to do kind of a universe zoom out and answering any questions that kids might have had. And then in conjunction with that, we had 2 dome shows that we showed. So Capcom Go, especially for that first summer camp, when we were working with the idea of we're going to start at the moon, we're going to show how we got to the moon, and then we're going to go on from Mars. And so Apollo's story was super awesome. And then, courtesy of the bell, we used Mars Ultimate Voyage, which gave kids a good idea of what it would take to then further that into Mars. All right, so our weekly agenda. Oh, I forgot to change that. So the weekly agenda in 2024, we started with Capcom Go. Then we had them do their teams and moon medallions. There was a break pretty much the entire time, or for each of the days, but then we did impact craters. In 2024, we did a activity that had it was a activity that was given to us about breathing air and using a specific material that would filter highlighter juice through water. And unfortunately, it didn't really work the way that we wanted it to. So we kind of switched that into simulating moon dust, which was using cornstarch and glitter, which is not a good idea for 9 to 13-year-olds, because while they had fun doing it, messy, very messy. But then we went on through our big drop test, because we then, when we got to our big drop test, we introduced the idea of parachutes. and how parachutes work. And so then we got to see those in action. And then Thursday, we didn't have to worry about it all because Gateway to Science did all the work for us, which was fantastic. But that wasn't how it really worked for the next year. So the next year, we kind of broke away from doing it, Moon and then Mars, because we found that that was a really limited framework, and that didn't really give the kids an opportunity to ask questions about greater space. And so what we did was we also implemented a pre and post test, because we wanted to see if there was any correlation in the students' learning, their knowledge beforehand, and then their knowledge afterwards. So we ran it very much the same way. We did Capcom Go on Tuesday instead of doing it on Monday before introducing anything, because we wanted to start on Earth and get a good idea again, and then make our way out to space. And then how do we get to space? Well, we use rockets. What's an important aspect of that rocket? Well, where the crew is gonna sit. So, kind of tying it more into that. And then we also implemented a question box where the kids could write down their burning questions about space and then do that throughout the week, and then we would answer that from there. So super, super fun. All right, our findings from the pre and post test were kind of staggering. We had over 31 students take part in this. We really only took the data from the 26 because there were students that didn't take it seriously, or students that missed one or came in late. So that we can go over in a little bit. But you can see that it was a failing percentage for most of the students, the average was, and then after the post tests, it actually got to a passing range, which we were super excited about. But here's some pictures from Space Camp 24. You can kind of see the first one, or this one down here at the bottom, was the pool noodle drop test. And then you can see the absolute height that we had for the kids for the atrium. And then that one at the top there is Gateway to Science coming through. 2025, we had a lot of fun. We were in a different classroom setup, but you can see that we had a ton of fun with the students. You can see Hannah preparing the materials for our materials budget and things like that. And then during the breaks, a big element of this was having fun, and kids love pool noodles. It was one thing that we found out specifically, so I have a little video. I don't know if we can hear it. That help? We basically just did a whole bunch of freeze tag, a lot of freeze tag, and kids like to get hit with pool noodles. Future directions were we would like to reevaluate the test because some of the questions were a little unclear, or they need to be clarified. We had a lot of questions about some of our questions. And then we want to get more undergrads involved because it's a lot of fun. So, and it's a good training opportunity in the dome and outside of the dome and working with students. So that was our experience. I think we don't have time for questions. So thank you.
Thank you very much, MJ. Wonderful. In the interest of everyone's time, we're going to go ahead and save questions until later. You can always find MJ. I personally am going to have a lot of questions because camp is a big part of my job.
Oh, yes.
All right, so we're going to have a little bit of passing time. Up next is Amy Barraclaw.
devices that have internet access, I can download. No, that's right.
We are just having just a mess in this room today.
Okay, thank you. Get my phone for the two-factor.
Don't do it yet. I think these are causing almost all of our trouble. Yeah. Yeah. One of them that has been getting started.
Needs a
I would
couple
say
more seconds.
go for it. I just didn't want to do it while she was getting there.
Is this one just for power, Steve?
Oh, let's close the other one. Because PowerPoint hates.
Is there a way that I can have the presenter view so I can see notes that I've written?
Yes, it. Yes, it's been. It has for some reason.
Sorry, I'm causing all the problems.
No, no, no. This is not. This has happened with everybody. But there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Very handsome slide deck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know your laptop just over here.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, Steve. Yes, I am.
All right, everybody, we're going to hand it over to Amy Barraclaw.
All right. Good morning, everybody. As Holly said, I'm Amy Barraclaw. I'm the director at the Edelman Planetarium at Rowan University in Glassboro, New Jersey. So not really GLPA, but GLPA. And today I'm going to be talking to you all about a project that we've been working on to create space for everybody by becoming a certified autism center. This is a project that was funded by the Institute of Museum and Library Services. So a little bit about where we are. The planetarium at Rowan University opened in 2004, and it's kind of the focal point for the Science Hall building on campus. Rowan is located 20 miles southeast of Philadelphia in New Jersey, but we like to call ourselves the East Philadelphians rather than New Jerseyans. Our dome is a 40-foot diameter dome. We have a Digistar 7 system and about 100 seats. And in that theater, we serve over 40,000 people annually. This comes mostly from pre-K field trips, but we also get about 35% from public shows and 10% from outreach and university classes. In addition to our theater, we also have an observatory with a research telescope that our astronomy faculty utilize for their research projects, and we also open it up and our observing deck for these monthly open houses to bring in the public and give them a chance to look through telescopes. So the mission of the planetarium is to create a sense of wonder about the night sky and its connections to the world around us. So we've built all of our programs on 4 strategic pillars The pillars are access, affordability, quality, and economic engine. Now, these are actually the same strategic pillars that are the foundation of Rowan University's strategic plan. And their plan is to become a model for higher education by being inclusive, agile, responsive, offering diverse scholarly and creative educational experiences, pathways, environments, and services to meet the needs of all students. So they are very, very big on access and inclusion, and we are as well. But one area that we found we needed a little bit of work was in serving individuals with autism spectrum disorder. So according to the CDC, millions of adults are living with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, but many of them go undiagnosed. Additionally, 1 in 36 children are diagnosed with ASD, and 1 in 6 people have a sensory processing disorder. This includes 90% of people with autism. People with these sensory processing differences may be over-responsive to sensory inputs, such as bright lights or loud noises, or they may be under-responsive, and they seek stimulation through touching objects or rocking. Planetariums have begun offering some autism-friendly shows, and I kind of use some quotes here because I know that we're all trying. Typically, those autism-friendly shows include reduced attendance, lowered volume, and theater lights on low so that it doesn't get completely dark. This helps to kind of accommodate the large crowds, bright lights, unfamiliar environments, and other challenges that autistic people have that can make museums and planetariums feel unwelcoming. Unfortunately, these activities are not really enough to serve these patrons. So this is why we got this grant from the Institute of Museum and Library Services to partner with the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards in order to become a certified autism center. So IBCCES is the industry leader in cognitive disorder training and certification for education, healthcare, corporate, and travel and entertainment professionals around the globe. They have these certification programs created by their board of autistic individuals and subject matter experts that help professionals in all industries gain a deeper understanding of autism and other neurodivergences. Don't know why my title didn't get changed. I think I must have done that on my laptop, so I apologize for that. Just imagine that instead of saying our mission, that says becoming a certified autism center. So the partnership with IBCCES, which is, it's really hard to say very fast, is a 2-year partnership where all of our staff are required to undergo a position-specific online training in autism awareness and education. So in these trainings, we learn how to communicate more effectively with individuals, and also just how to recognize some of the challenges that autistic individuals may experience in their daily lives. There are multiple levels of this training that you can take. For our part-time student educators, they were given an option of a 2-credit-hour or an 8-credit-hour course. The 8-credit-hour course came with a personal credential that they can include on their resumes so that they can take that into the job search after graduation and hopefully find some employment with that extra credential. Full-time staff like myself and our assistant director, Cam, we had to attend this 14-hour autism certificate training for high-contact staff. In addition to these online trainings, we also had an on-site review by IBCCES staff. They came to the planetarium to experience everything from parking, using the restroom, purchasing tickets, exploring our venue and attending each of our programs to get a sense of what a planetarium show entails. And from this on-site review, they created these sensory guides, like you can see here on the right. A sensory guide is created for each different program that we offer, but also for each of the different locations within the planetarium that they might be attending. And what these do is they take the 5 major senses and give a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low sensory input, 10 being very, very high sensory stimulation, and just document, what a individual attending this show or visiting this space is going to experience. So the example that I have up here is for an interactive show where we pass around some materials from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory that they have for Mars exploration. And as you might expect inside of a planetarium show, there aren't very many opportunities to taste or smell anything. So those are given a rating of 1, but sight and sound are rated much higher. For sight, we have our domed screen, as you would expect in a planetarium, but we also transition from light to dark multiple times throughout this show, and there's just a potential for dizziness and disorientation. So we can provide these sensory guides to schools as they prepare for their visit so that they can help any students that may need some preparation for what to expect. We also will be posting these on our website, so any visitor to any of our public show that is looking for accessibility information, they can find and access this and try to determine which shows are going to be the best fit for their particular needs. They also help us to create a narrative story of what a visit to the planetarium will entail. I mentioned that, in their on-site review, the reviewer does everything from park to use the restroom, purchasing tickets and attending the show. By documenting all of these, we can build that story experience that can be given to individuals that need it and helps relieve some of that anxiety that they might have with these new and unfamiliar experiences. They also provide a written report that we can use for further improving our programming and accessibility within the facility. And we can take these reports and actually submit them as documentation towards additional grant funding projects. They have stated that many of their CACs have been able to secure funding from state, local, or even federal agencies in order to correct or improve some of their facilities. So we completed our training and our on-site back in August, so we are technically, officially, a certified autism center. However, you will not yet find us anywhere because we haven't had our formal press release yet. So the press release is hopefully going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. The delay has been entirely my fault. IBCCS is waiting for me to submit a quote on what this designation really is going to mean for all of our guests, and I have not had the opportunity to write and submit that yet. But once it's there, we're going to be listed on their international online registry of certified autism centers. We have these badges, like you can see attached to the picture on the left there, that just sort of announce our designation. These can be included on our websites, on any social media postings that we make, and they can also be included in our email signatures just to help make the public more aware of our designation. And we're going to be listed on the autismtravel.com website. Then IBCCS, they have an accessibility app, which you can see there in the center. Each of their CACs is able to create their own page within this accessibility app that works for any type of disability, not just autism, but all disabilities. Any services that we can provide are listed within that accessibility app, just again to remove some of those barriers and the lack of information that tends to come along with visiting new places. So according to the IBCCS, travelers with disabilities spend about $29 billion annually on travel and entertainment, including visits to museums and planetariums. So we are hoping that our designation is going to position us to serve these patrons more effectively. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Amy. In the interest of time, please find Amy with any other questions or any more discussion. Congratulations on your certification.
Thank you.
All right, up next is Bob Bonadur. We're going to give a quick minute or two to get set up.
Let me just try a little.
You said we have some?
Well, we should. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to.
okay.
I want to double check it.
Oh, you want to do
because
some?
it was.
Okay.
It was a little. I see what the. It's not going out of the HDMI, which is it was earlier. And now it's not doing that.
Oh, is there an off on there?
Yeah, it's just speakers.
If I put the microphone to anything, would that help or not?
I mean,
to help for it.
yeah, I don't know.
Where's the microphone?
Where are the speakers? At? I don't know. I think they're just kind of around.
I'll try it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bob.
It's not imperative.
No, it hasn't changed. Okay. Do you have holes? Yeah.
He's working on the sound. Wonderful. Thanks, Steve. He's working on the sound, but I have some videos, and they might not be loud, so might skip over them. Thanks, Ali. Everyone, I'm Bob Bonadur. I'm the director of the Sarf Planetarium in Milwaukee, and I'm doing a talk here respecting the science skeptic or denier. And this is something that's over the years is, I'm just trying to learn the other side, right? It's tough sometimes when someone comes in and they don't even believe in science. And so why did Galileo fail? He was one of the first and who had a lot of skeptics and deniers, and just some things I picked up from my research. And, he was challenged in long accepted things about the universe, obviously, and he lacked conclusive proof. I mean, he couldn't prove the Earth was moving, and he was a bit abrasive, or elitist, as they say today. So he alienated a lot of people. So are things better today? Well, not really. Multiple surveys indicate, people still think that the Earth doesn't move. And you'll know a lot of this. So where are all these science skeptics? All around us, but not in this room, right? I hope. But so you probably have seen some of these surveys and stuff. Why are they anti-science, and what can we do about it? And 61%, saw COVID. Only 61%. There should be an only in there. Saw it as a major health threat. and 40% still don't think climate change is a threat, which, some of this is crazy. I did a paper about 8 years ago respecting the astrologer, because when I was younger and someone goes, "Oh, you're an astrologer," I'd start to make a fist where they didn't see it. I didn't want to fight, but it's just like, and now I'm learning to respect that. It's so important. I was just a self-righteous young person thinking that, so I was really trying to deal with them better, if you will. And so, we still have a high percentage that, are into the astrology. This is a video I really want to show you. I think there's captioning here, but she's great. If you don't know this lady, she is amazing. So how do I play this? I think I just click, right?
Yeah, looks like almost everyone showed up.
Yeah, you can
This
read
is so
that.
fun. Look at us forming bonds. You didn't invite, you know who though, did you? No, you can relax. I think she's at some sort of crystal healing retreat anyway. Cute. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I requested a ride and it both arrived and never showed up, so. How? I got Schrodinger's cat. Oh, that'll do it. You guys want a slice of pie? Nash brought it. Yeah, there's plenty to go around. Thank you. No, it can't be. Cousin. Nope. No, we are not related. Who invited her? Look, I thought you were the same person. I'm sorry. Hey, you need to listen up. It's giving Sagittarius. It's giving Mars in the 7th house. Stop, okay? This party is for sciences. And last time I checked, your little personality quizzes are not peer-reviewed. Chill. We're the same, me and you. We both make people look up at the stars. It's just that I'm fun and approachable, whereas you are less so. Okay, I can't do this. Have a good night, everyone. I'm out of here. No, come on, astronomy. I don't see why you should let one person ruin your whole...
So she's great, and she's from here, but I think she's in I think it's the next, hang on, El Cordova. She's, I think she's in California now, but she's from the Minneapolis area, I think, and she's a singer too, and she's just very scientist-oriented. She's got stuff on plate tectonics and all kinds of things, and look her up. I mean, this video, at least on YouTube, is like 6 million views. I mean, yeah. So what percentage are flat earthers out there? Well, this is a more complicated thing, but it's not zero. So I'm going to skip over this in terms of time. You can check it out in the proceedings. A lot of you know about proving the earth is round. We did this in a show we produced about 8-9 years ago. So we went atop the tallest building in Milwaukee, one camera up there, one camera on the bottom, and you can see Liquid sunrise at the elevation, hasn't come up at the ground level, and this can only happen if the earth is round. And this has been proven before, but we got to prove it. So it's great, and it was just fun and to do. So we're going to include that. We do that a lot in our shows. We take parts from old shows and put in shows that we're doing. So we're going to put that in our new show that we're working on. So science and religion, this is an amazing thing. So 50% believe they're mostly in conflict. 50%, that's half. And 40%, 7 are compatible. Now, I didn't break it down in what sides, but there's more in the study. This is a recent study. And just a personal experience, I used to teach astronomy at a community college, and after 3.5 months of teaching astronomy, two young students came up to me, and then somehow we got into Galileo was religious and a scientist. I mean, he was very pious. And they looked at me like, "You can do that?" They had no idea that you could have both in your life. And didn't even know that after teaching them for 3.5 months. So, of course, a lot of evolutionary deniers out there. I'm going to kind of skip over this in the interest of time, catch up, and it's an evolution video I'm going to skip over too, that we did in a show about dinosaurs. And we actually have had, I don't know if you ever had, like, why did you have to include the E word? I've gotten public responses on that in our shows, so why complicated, but the top one there, their beliefs, their tribal nature is really the main reason that they will not accept science. And I'll give you an example of that later. And plus, as we know, science is hard. This guy is amazing. I don't know if anyone heard of him, Michael Sandel. He's a professor at Harvard. The tyranny of merit, basically, there's a lot of things in this book. It's just fantastic. There's some of his quotes, but no one likes to feel that they're not smart. I never understood this whole elitist thing that came out. It's like, I never considered myself elite, or my friend, anyone. It's just like, why are we elite? And just because we're curious and like to learn things, but he really thinks, he's taught me that it's very offensive to people. And it's just trying to figure this out. Is that a piece or 2 minutes? So anyways, you can pick out some of this, and of course, Sagan, we live in a world of technology, but no one understands it. And I want to skip through some of these things, but some of the things I found in my research on this. How many have seen the new Nova special? That's it. Check this out. It's just came out on PBS. Ella Al-Shamali is British, but she grew up as a Muslim, and she was a pious, no one science, but she has some great stuff. I'm going to skip over her video, and just for time, I'm a former creationist. Here's why I follow the science failed. And this is a Washington Post, and she just gives so much insight if you meet someone who's really religious and anti-science about how to understand that person and how to talk to them. So I mean, I don't have time in my little talk here to go through all this, but this is a great editorial. And if you're not a subscriber to the Post, because I know it's hard to get in the articles, just email me, and I can copy and paste this and send it to you, the whole article. So here's just one of I have so many in here. Like so many creationists, I believe scientists were either lying to us, or they were so biased that they were unknowingly misreading the data. The only way to dismantle their theory was to inspect the data and prove it wrong. And again, in interest of time, I'm just going to go through all these. And when she became a scientist and evolutionist, she was sad as heck. She was so sad. She was losing her family that loved her, the whole tribal thing. That's what we do to people. You don't think we do that to people, but we do. We're challenging their whole upbringing if we give them a dirty look, you know, like they're a flat earther or an astrologer, and we give them one of those, boy, who are you? So it just helps me personally be consciously aware of how we're treating someone who is a skeptic of science or a denier. So she's amazing. She wrote a whole book about the handshake, which is interesting, which you can get on Amazon. She's just really good. Most people will not betray their tribe for a stranger in a lab coat. So, in many ways, I traded a warm religious community for a cold and often selfish secular world. And she's an evolutionist. Well, she calls herself a paleoanthropologist. That's what she is now. So science is hard. That's another reason people don't like science. Stargazing is easy. We have to admit it. Okay. And I did the NITARP thing. Anyone else do NITARP? You get to work with scientists for a year, Jeff Beck. That was hard to do the data that the scientists go through. And it's difficult. It was a fun project. But I still love math, and I figured out how many cell phones would fill our dome. That's what AI will do. They'll make that picture for you. So anyway, the answer? Anyone want to guess? We have a 72-foot dome? Yes, depends on the size of the dome. Well, we have a big IMAX dome that's 73 feet in diameter, and so anyway, it was kind of fun. Did all the math. So we use that in a promotion thing. I'm out of time, right? Okay. Any time for questions?
Would you please,
What? Go ahead.
Here.
post this somewhere so we can like actually
Yeah.
read it and see it? Because
Yep.
I don't want to wait for the proceeding.
Can you say this into the
Just send-
microphone, please, Chris?
Send me an email, Chris. I'll send you a PDF of
Okay.
this document.
Would you please post this so everybody can see it and
Yep.
read it in great detail? And because because I don't want to wait for the proceedings. The other thing is, I was hoping that you would be able to, you've explained why, but how do you talk to somebody
Ran
about
out of
those
time.
things?
I ran out of time. It's in there. It's one of the last slides.
Yes.
And how do you, and basically Ella, who I showed, if you're not convincing anyone, she gives you ways, and if after 30 minutes they're like, you're still a crazy scientist and I don't like you, then you just give up and leave. So she gives it 30 minutes. This kind of, but you're not going to convince, of course, everyone. Okay.
All
That's
right,
it.
thank you very much, Bob.
All
Give
right,
me a
thanks.
round of applause for Bob. Truly a wealth of information. All right, I'm also looking forward to all of that extra content. That's very useful stuff. Fantastic. All right, we're going to do a little bit of transition. Up next is our final presentation for the session. That's going to be for Sarah Schultz, Emily Peavy, and Carrie Berglund.
There we go. Good. Okay. All right.
If we're all ready, please welcome Carrie and Sarah.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Hey, they're still awake. That's a good sign. I'm Carrie,
I'm Sarah.
and we are here to talk to you about an idea that we have been kicking around with Emily Peavy, who is unfortunately not here, about something that we call LIPS Boot Camp. You have anything you want to say before we go on?
Emily's getting married. That's why she's not here.
Oh, now see, I didn't even know that myself. So how many of you are familiar with LIPS? Yeah, I figured.
Not just the ones on your face.
Yeah, not just these, but yeah. I figured almost everybody. So it stands for Live Interactive Planetarium Symposium, just in case you're not familiar with it. Digitalis actually, thank you, established it in 2011. We organized and hosted the first one. And it is vendor agnostic, system agnostic. It focuses on basically anything and everything to do with teaching in a dome. And in 2023, we became an official nonprofit. And then another exciting milestone in 2025, actually not quite a month ago, we did our first LIPS outside of the United States, and it was in Vienna, Austria, EuroLIPS, and it was fantastic. You want to take this one?
Sure. So, big question is why LIPS Boot Camp? So, if you've done live interactive planetarium programming, you know that it's very difficult. It's a skill that you have to hone, and that's why LIPS exists in the first place, so that we can talk about it and we can learn from each other. Some people might be a little bit intimidated by the idea of LIPS because it has been kind of referred to as a master class in live interactive planetarium programming. So Carrie, I believe, has had some feedback that, maybe we'd like to see something that was an entry level as opposed to coming in and feeling like you're around a bunch of professionals who have been doing this all their lives and are really good at it, and you're just starting out. So we want to break down barriers and make it accessible to everyone. Anyone who's interested in getting involved and hasn't done it yet or would like to fine tune, it's for you.
Mm-hmm. So our goals, we'll alternate. This is working great.
Yeah, hey, why not? We practiced.
Yeah, we did. You can tell, right? So as Sarah mentioned, we want to break down barriers, provide foundational support. I have heard from multiple people over the years that they feel like they are not ready for LIPS, that LIPS is too advanced for them. And so this is designed to give them the grounding they need to then come and join the regular LIPS, which I would say come anyway, even if you're brand new. But we also want to help people build their confidence, develop new skills, and foster a sense of belonging, which I think is one of the most beneficial parts of LIPS and the LIPS style events like GLPA yesterday.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable and ready to jump in wherever they're at. All right. So the focus would be to kind of give you that introduction to interactive techniques And there are lots of different ways to engage with your audiences. And so kind of learning about the different ways and finding ways that work for you. So different domes, different technologies, different presenters, they're all going to have a different approach for their interactivity, and one size does not fit all, right? So you want to find your way, your presentation style, what's comfortable for you and how you best engage with your audiences. So we want to be able to also instill in people that if you want to have a live and interactive planetarium program that's successful, you really want to focus on being flexible. So you want to be able to let your audience guide the program and even take control at times. Sometimes that can be a little bit scary. You know, you don't want to let them run off on a different tangent, but some of your best programming might be from stuff that your audience has driven.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and in fact, you can talk to me and Sarah about our shirts, because that is from Lips 2025.
Okay, scoot over so we can get a picture.
Okay.
There we go. It was a great time.
Yes, there's a whole story behind this, and
we will tell you it if
yes,
you ask.
Exactly, it embodies the Lips philosophy.
It is beautiful.
I can let you wonder. And one plug before we go
sorry.
right back. This guy, Derek Demeter, is hosting the Full Lips next August. So, and he's from Sanford, Florida. I knew it was near Orlando, but not in it.
All right.
This is my turn, right?
That's your turn.
Okay, yeah, we really did practice.
Who's that up there, Sarah?
So the focus, we want to allow new people to observe veteran presenters and also observe each other. So some of us are from institutions that have lots of staff, so we have other people that we can observe. Some of us are from very small places where they might be the only one doing planetarium programs and don't have that opportunity to watch each other. The main goal there is to help people identify their style. This is what I am most comfortable doing. My style is closest to Sarah's, for example, or my style is closest to Michael's, just so I have a baseline to start from. And we also want to talk about the mutual benefits. It's not just our audiences that benefit from interaction, it's the presenter as well, and we want to explore those in depth.
All right. So we have talked a little bit about some of the things we'd like to see covered, and we are looking for more input from others as well. But certainly talking about interaction as a continuum. Like I mentioned, it can look different ways and for different people, and there's different levels of interaction as well. So really thinking about what is interaction and what does it mean for you and for your audiences. Obviously, Carrie mentioned the purpose and the value of being interactive. It's not just for the audience, it's for you too. You develop your presentation style and everybody enjoys it. I would say everybody enjoys it more when you're engaged and so are they. Obviously, different ways for engaging, right? So there's, raising hands, there's clapping, there's different ways to make it work in your dome, because not all domes are the same. Not everybody's presenting from the same place, and so you have to figure out the best technique for your dome. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see, what else? Successful interactive presentations. What do you want to do to make sure that it's going to go well, right? And adapting for different age groups, that's a key one, because you need to know your audience. You need to understand, are you talking to pre-Kers, like Katie does oftentimes, or are you talking to high schoolers, which is a very tough group to try to engage with. But being able to do that, because it doesn't just come naturally. You have to kind of put some work into it.
Or sometimes you're talking to all of the above
yes.
in your public shows, which
yes,
I find
and.
is the hardest. Yes, yeah. Let's see, what do we...
Couple more.
There we go. So yes, we would like to offer multiple approaches to the commonly taught interactive programs like tonight's Sky or a solar system tour that virtually every planetarium does. I mentioned identifying, refining your personal style. What are you most comfortable doing? Practice presentations. So ideally they do a presentation near the beginning of the boot camp and then revisit it at the end and get a sense of how much they have grown. Peer observation and constructive feedback is are great topics as well. Yeah.
So we really do learn the most from each other. I actually have the benefit of having my students with me, and MJ's in the back there. I just observed one of her planetarium programs the other day, and was like, wow, I could definitely, pull some things from there, but there are definitely some things that I could not pull off. It's definitely Allie and MJ thing. So learning from each other and being able to add to your toolbox of how you're going to interact with different audiences.
So what's next? Well, we have taken this idea and kind of run with it a little bit, but before we go too much farther, we want to find out, is there a need for this? So we put together a very short survey. This QR code will take you to it. So please take just a couple minutes to fill out that survey. Tell us if you think it's a good idea or not. If you think you would attend, or maybe send some of your staff if you're planetarium managers. That would be really helpful for us.
Another thing that we have talked about and thought about is doing some sort of like an intro astronomy course, like kind of a astronomy for dummies crash course, or even doing something that would be for your managers who don't understand what you do as an interactive planetarium person. So being able to educate your employers and whoever it is that you have to justify yourself to, if you have to, because sometimes that's important as well. Sometimes people don't get what that means. And that's important for us to be able to tell our story and why it's important.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to just do a quick straw poll here. Raise your hand if you think this is a good idea.
Oh, wow.
Hey, great.
We might be onto something.
We might be. Hey, we're not just wearing cool shirts. We're
That's right.
Yeah. All right, excellent. Well, please do take the survey. And yes?
Oh, that is my fault.
That's the
okay,
wrong
thank
one.
you. I will fix that.
Okay, we'll make sure to get you the right one.
No wonder I'm the only
Well,
one who's
hey,
filled
try
it out.
this one. Is this the same one? Is this the same one? I was wondering why we weren't getting any answers.
I know.
But anyway, try that one. See if that one works. If it doesn't, we will make sure to get it out to you. You know, live and interactive, right?
Yeah.
Also
Same
no.
thing? Okay.
Also no.
I can just
don't
maybe-
bother. It doesn't work.
I'll put it
Okay.
on the GLPA listserv or something.
Yes, we'll make sure to get it out there.
Yeah.
But feel free to come and give us suggestions or ask questions or whatever. We're around for the conference, and we'd love to talk to you about it. So, yeah, thanks.
Do we have time for a couple questions now?
We do.
Yeah, okay.
We do. Everybody, thanks to Sarah and Carrie.
Oh, I see one way in the back.
We have about a minute or two for questions, so the microphone is coming your way. I'm going to start with the back.
It is really cold right here.
It is. You better huddle for warmth. I know. Like penguins.
Thanks a lot, you two. I think this is a great idea. I was curious about, because you're a nonprofit, and thinking about our staff maybe having difficulty getting to Ellipse live. When the boot camp is developed, would it be something you consider sending out to the community or having available for the community so that those core concepts could still be worked on, and we'd still get the benefit of LIPS without until we're able to attend?
Yeah,
live?
absolutely. I think that's a fantastic idea. It's the way we're going to get the information and the skills spread as quickly as possible. Did you want to add anything?
We talked about maybe some Zoom options and maybe some recordings as well. So certainly, if there's interest and people are interested in getting at it in different ways, we're up for it. So, heck yes.
We could even do like a LIPS boot camp preparation thing for people who want to host it or lead sessions. That could be something we do during the first one as well.
Very good. We have time for one more question. Here you go, Katie.
How is this different from regular LIPS? Like, is it going to be like another like mini conference where we go somewhere and it's like multiple days, like a regular conference, or is it shorter? What's the idea?
TBD.
Cool.
But basically, we're wondering what people want, honestly, and build it from there. The idea was to hopefully be kind of like almost like a mini LIPS, I think, but obviously an introduction to things as opposed to having people jump in and just doing it. So much more of the building of your skills and your confidence and that kind of stuff. But we hadn't figured out yet what the best approach was, so we're still looking for suggestions.
So fill out the survey.
Yes, please. Once it's
Fill out the survey.
the right one.
Once I
it's
correct
fixed.
it. Sorry about that.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Way to go. We did it.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Huge thank you for all of our panel presenters. Thank you to Steve and Scott for keeping all of our AV things. Get a little round of applause for them.
All right. Carrie, is this your phone?
All right,
it
it's
is. Thank you.
just
I meant to
about
use the timer
time
on the phone.
for lunch. I will be here all week. This is your moderator for Session A, Holly Cohen, signing off.